this is Sarah and this is a drawing tutorial about hands. In this video I'm going to be talking about the basic, and the future videos we're going to go deeper into other stuff. And yes, next couple of videos will just be about hands because it's impossible to get everything in just one video. So let's get on with the basics. First, I want you to draw this rectangular square-ish type of shape thing, and then we're going to add a bit of a triangle over here. Okay, after that you're just going to measure that area. It makes this interesting looking rectangle, and we're going to draw the same ratio. So I want to say is we're going to draw a rectangle equal to that one that includes that triangle. Okay, and then we're going to divide this 2 to 1, and we're just going to put a mark here. This is where the thumb will be. And yes, you figured it. That upper part is the fingers. You're just going to divide that into half. And then you're going to divide the rest as well. And that's the basic structure of a hand or ratios. And of course, you're going to work on every finger alone. You're going to, first I'm going to adjust the length of the fingers because they're really like unreal. And by the way, sometimes this finger is usually longer than this, sometimes it's the other way, sometimes this one will be longer than this. But now I just made this hilariously looking thing, and we're going to divide every finger into 1, 2, because this is where the joints of the fingers are. We want to make 3 equal joints for every finger. The thumb is a bit different though, because it does have three joints, but usually there is one here, and the third one is the one here. So that one is a little bit different. If I would say we're going to have to talk this in ratio 1 to 2 to 2. And you're just going to connect that with the arm. We can make something like this. We just soften the edge a bit of the hands, and where the softened part has ended, we're like here, we're just going to and same here with thumb. We're just going to put here the rest of the arm. Normally, guys, I would say we can extend this a bit to make the arm a bit thicker, so it won't be here, could be out a bit outside. And of course, guys' arms are a bit wider. And of course we can sharpen it up a bit, but this is just the basic. We can clean stuff out to make it look like a hand, which I'm gonna be doing at the moment. Now this is extremely really quickly. I'm going to be erasing that and just leaving some traces. So we're just going to add a line over here, and to add a bit of realism, we're going to add this line here and maybe some 2 lines here, because this is where we're showing the veins. And we are just going to do the same shape that I just showed you, just a bit softer, a bit cleaner. And again, this is not realistic. This is very cartoony. If you're going to go realistic, then we are going to add really complex details, such as we're giving curves to every thumb And then there will be thumbs that, or fingers, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. There will be fingers that will be covering other fingers, or fingers that's a bit apart from other fingers. You can only tell by just looking at your hand. This one's covered. And this is again not very realistic, it's just very quick, very cartoony. I won't say that this is realistic. I try to make it as realistic as possible and just curve this a bit over like this. And we just draw this like this as well. We kind of have a basic hand shape. Of course, the fingers need to be a bit longer or maybe a bit thinner, but yet again, every hand has different shapes. Some hands are bigger than others. Again, sometimes this finger could be shorter than this, or the ring finger could be shorter than the index finger. And you just have to look at your hands and just see what's the difference. Let's get another hand position in this video to kind of apply the basics that I just explained, and show you how you can apply it with a simple position. Let's say I'm gonna make like a victory sign. I'm going to start with this, the palm, and remember, fingers as a whole will be equal to that one. I'm gonna divide this into half. Okay, just this is a guideline. Now, here's the tricky part. When you're doing a V sign or a victory sign, you have two fingers that is bent like this, and then you have something like this. Okay, so I'm going to be looking at my hand while I'm working on this. I'm going to start with a V. Just, what is this called? What is this supposed to be called? A rectangle, maybe? But anyways, this is the V, and I have drawn it the other opposite way, but never mind. And then we're going to draw the index, not the index, I'm sorry, the thumb covering up that finger. This is the finger that we need to be covered, and we need that to appear in the drawing. This is going to be a little bit tricky, but I will try in the simplest way to explain this. Again, we have here this is showing that the fingers are bent, dividing that into half, and then this one is covering. Don't forget that. We're going to somehow here 2 to 1. Don't forget. Here we're gonna put the index, or showing where, I'm sorry, not the index, the thumb. We're showing where the thumb will be positioned at, whether you're going to be opening it or closing it or resting it. And we're going to draw this. Now, don't mind if the drawing at this point doesn't really make much sense. We're going to edit a lot of the stuff here. I just realized that this finger needs to be a bit shorter, and it needs to be a bit longer from down here. But you get it. This is how you apply the basics. Just with a bunch of squares and rectangles and triangles, you'll get the position you want, or the hand position you want. Now we're going to add or soften the edges. See, this one is supposed to be like this a bit, so like this. If you want to add the nail, well, you're gonna keep an eye on the nails. This is a bit of perspective, but I just thought it would be fun to throw it in. And don't forget to curve that part and that part. And we're going to put the rest of the arm over here. And we're going to add or soften the edges. And we're just going to soften that. Again, this one is going to be a little bit tricky, I told you, because we're trying to show that the finger is, or has this line over here. And you just keep an eye on, like, this part is hidden, this part is what is appearing. So we will just draw the part that is appearing, and it should be very tucked in. If you don't want to do this, then you don't have to. It's just we're trying to add a bit of realism to the drawing. And we are going to, again, soften the parts a bit. I won't say this is a perfect hand, but this is a success for the amount of time that I spent drawing this. It's a relatively easy position to draw hands in. Now I made a mistake, you see. It was supposed to be like this, but in the end I just drew it a bit tilted, so that's why it gave me a bit of perspective. But we're just going to adjust this. Well, here is the right pose. You can just draw the whole thing like this and then divide it in two. And then make this one shorter. And add a bit of lines right here. This is how it looks like on my hand. And well, you just have your hand, or your left hand if you're right-handed, or if you're left-handed you have your right hand to draw. And you just experiment with positions of hands, because as I showed you, the first position before it was corrected was a bit tilted, so I can't say it was wrong. But I just wanted to show that there is so many possibilities to hand drawing. By tilting the hand a bit, just by a tiny angle, you totally have a different result from what you expect. But yet again, the most important thing about drawing hands is just to keep an eye on your hand and how is it drawn. But this is not the end of the hand tutorials. There is so much more stuff to be talked about. This is just a really simple hand position, really fast to get it done. Next time we're gonna be talking a bit more about hand. How can you rotate it? How can you just play around with it? Just get more of these complicated and annoying positions that you just, how should I draw this type of thing? And maybe I'll put in some perspectives as well, because part of learning hand positions is learning a bit about the perspectives. And sometimes when your hand is in a certain position, then your finger is like bent here a little bit, so the perspective of that finger is different from that. It's going to have a bit of perspective with drawing, and yeah, this is why hands is a bit annoying when it comes to drawing it. That's it, guys. See you in another hand tutorial. Yeah, that's the end of that. I hope you had fun with this, and if you do have any questions about drawing hands, put them in the comments. Maybe I will put it in my next tutorial. I'll see you later. Bye.